I just had a great visit with my parents, and now I'm taking care of my neglected plants once again. But this time of year, they're not suffering so bad. They're actually happy. I'm neglecting them a little bit because my planted apple tell me to water them, and then I'll water them recently, and then they're just like, well, why did you do that for? So now is definitely the time to be slowing down. And if your app tells you to water it today and you miss a couple days, it's definitely going to be okay, whether they're under the grow light situation or not. I don't know about how your house situation goes. I don't run air conditioner. Next year that's probably going to change. I'm probably going to at least run air conditioning 1 or 2 months out of the year, just because the trend is hotter and wetter summers. I'm not saying it's global warming because that's bull crap, but there's a reason for it, and it's the Lord's timing, and we're just going to have to prepare for that. So my tropical plants are happy. I have some powdery mildew on some of them. It's not stopping them from growing or anything like that, but it's doing great. Let me show you something else that happened since my parents came. My birds are no longer what I would consider free range. What USDA standards would call free range, they are. And we decided to do this on several thoughts. First of all, they are sneaking and getting on the Jeeps, pooping and scratching them up. That's a big no-no. Cats, chickens, no critters on vehicles. Absolutely not. You get them hard claws off there. Second of all, whenever they're out there, you can't overfeed Walter or the dogs if you were to feed them outside, because the chickens are going to eat them. And if we're gone to like Jeep Branson or something like that, then we're going to want to leave the dogs outside all the time, because it's hard to find a dog sitter for 4 dogs. Nobody wants to stay here for a couple days. I mean, I don't know why, but I guess it's a comfort level. You're just not comfortable. Nobody wants to keep these dogs there, and that's understandable because these dogs aren't comfortable there. Comfort, you know. So the best thing to do is to keep all these critters outside. Cats, dogs, chickens, all of you outside. Somebody come by once or twice a day, check on your food and water situation outside. So that's what I'm aiming for. So I'm upset that they don't really free range anymore, but at the same time, it's got its benefits too. There's benefits to raising your chickens both ways. It's just like the horses. There's benefits and drawbacks from not having them out there, and I still deal with those consequences all the time. I think about the horses a lot and how much I miss them, and how somebody just might find me out in their pasture looking at their horses and be like, it's all right, it's just me. But here's another thing to talk about is I weeded out here in these barrels, and everything's looking great. And I'm ready to get more barrels going. And we still have yet to fix the compost pile way back there in the corner. That's where it is. Back there on the right side of the barn there. So I imagine I'll be catching up with you later when I have more plant things to talk about. I do suppose I can talk about the cover crop I got and what's in it. So I got from True Leaf Market. I went onto my shop app and ordered from True Leaf Market. I just looked up cover crop, and I like the shop app. I've bought things off the shop. Basically, it's links, super links to I don't know, if you know shop app, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just upset right now. I can't explain things right, but this is what's in there. We got some peas, wheat, triticale, and I still don't know what triticale is, and I've heard about that triticale in cover crops in the soil and fertility class in my Master Gardeners, and yeah, that's a new one for me. Daikon radish. I did not specifically choose a cover crop with radishes in them because my soil from adding all of the hay and horse poop and all that stuff is still very light and fluffy. going down there now. But this cover crop did have radishes in it. It's to help loosen and break up your ground if you have hard ground. This one happens to have one in there. Forage collards, rape. That's also your, what is that oil? Canola oil. Mustard seeds, Persian clover, Balansa clover. I have not heard of either one of those either. Of those kinds of cover crops. Garden cover crop mix. That's what kind it's called. But I got 2 pounds of this, and I probably could go with 3 or 4 pounds next year. But I've never done a cover crop before, but, you know, knowing more about my area and the soil, nitrogen seems to be the biggest thing, and a cover crop is going to do well for that, especially those legumes there, the peas and stuff, and the clover. That's going to do awesome. And the vetch. Yep. And we're adding more leaves down there too, so we'll have a cover crop and adding in more organic matter on top of that.